Look like Caitlin Clark's civil rights has sparked a WNBA and NBA probe by the Trump administration.
Everyone swears they've got Caitlin Clark's rookie story figured out. But trust me, what really went down is way messier and way more explosive than the headlines ever hinted. It all began as an innocent dream to just play ball. But before anyone could blink, it spiraled into a political circus, a federal investigation, and a full-blown identity crisis for the entire league. Get ready, because everything you thought you knew about the WNBA is about to flip on its head.
Months ago, that Trump and his administration was coming. I've been preaching on it. I didn't think it was going to hit the NBA first. I thought it was coming to the W first, simply because of Caitlin Clark, her civil rights being violated, and these damn referees.
The WNBA Commissioner is officially sweating bullets. And yep, this thing just went federal. Word is, the whole Caitlin Clark civil rights saga has exploded into an actual government investigation. Forget hoops for a second. This isn't about basketball anymore. It's about politics, power, and figuring out who's really pulling the puppet strings behind the league. So, is this probe truly about justice for Caitlin Clark, or just another case of politics showing off its muscle? Drop your thoughts below, because this story's got more layers than an onion on steroids. We've got Caitlin Clark, league execs, and now, believe it or not, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice sniffing around. Yep, you heard that right. This drama has officially jumped off the court and straight into Washington.
Now, Stephen A. Smith has been someone, too, that has been vocal, has been an advocate about this probe happening. Now, I am here to tell
sources now confirm a civil rights review is officially underway, digging into how Caitlin Clark was treated all season, from shady referee calls and the league's radio silence to the chaotic crowds and the so-called hostile atmosphere she faced. The commissioner, under serious fire. If you've been following this channel, you already know we've covered the Clark chaos since day one. First, the rough play got brushed off. Then, fan outrage over her safety was ignored. After that, the league acted like nothing was wrong, while viral clips showed Clark getting slammed every single week. And now, boom, the Justice Department is in the mix. Turns out, when a league fails to protect its brightest star and lets bias run wild, Washington takes notice. Even the Wall Street Journal called it months ago, saying if the WNBA wouldn't defend its superstars from a toxic environment, the government eventually would. That take didn't just age well, it aged like fine wine, because that's exactly what's happening right now.
You know what world that I live in terms of politics? How many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming? He's coming. We'll say it on national television again.
But here's where things go absolutely off the rails. Insiders claim the civil rights twist is what grabbed the Trump administration's attention in the first place. They were already poking around sports gambling issues in both the NBA and WNBA when someone dropped the Caitlin Clark bomb, suggesting her unequal treatment might actually qualify for a civil rights review. You seriously couldn't script this better. Even Stephen A. Smith warned back in August that Trump's circle had eyes on the WNBA, not as speculation, but because a sitting senator was already whispering about it behind closed doors. Fast forward to now, and boom, it's headline news. So, why is the commissioner getting torched from every direction? Simple, a total leadership meltdown. While Caitlin Clark was getting knocked around on the court, the league was too busy posting empowerment slogans and pretending everything was sunshine and solidarity. Spoiler alert, fans weren't fooled for a second.
I have to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. But one thing I will not do is take credit for this. I am looking at the Wall Street Journal. The author of the article is a guy by the name of Sean McLean.
Even neutral voices are now calling the league flat out anti-Clark. Think about that. She's the biggest attraction in WNBA history, yet somehow the most targeted. Refs looked the other way on obvious fouls. Players threw shade in interviews, and the league? Silent as a statue. That's exactly where the civil rights angle hits hard. Under federal law, if a league shows bias or can't enforce its own rules fairly, especially when race and perception collide, it's a legal nightmare waiting to happen. And guess what? It's here. The Trump administration's involvement just poured gasoline on the chaos. They see Caitlin Clark as America's golden girl, a hardworking, all-American icon, and if they think she's being wronged, they're jumping in with both feet. Stephen A. Smith warned months ago, if that base grabs this story, the WNBA's gonna regret it. Well, here we are. Now every pundit from ESPN to Fox is piling on, some shouting justice, others crying political meddling. Either way, it's a disaster for the commissioner. You can't run a league and look this clueless at the same time. Let's be real, this whole meltdown was 100% avoidable. All the WNBA had to do was call games fairly and stop players from throwing cheap social media punches. But nope, they treated Clark's fame like a threat instead of the goldmine it was. And now, the feds are circling, asking exactly why those complaints were swept under the rug.
Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Ms. Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into a legal liability for the WNBA.
That's never a good look. Now the headlines are blazing, and the WNBA Commissioner is taking heat from every possible direction. ESPN, Fox, The Blaze, even political podcasts are all tearing into the story. Some call it a reckoning, others call it karma, but either way, it's a full-blown crisis. Senators are asking pointed questions. Journalists are digging through old referee reports like detectives. And online sleuths are compiling every brutal clip where Caitlin Clark got elbowed, shoved, or decked without a single whistle. There's even a viral highlight reel on X, aptly titled "The Hits That Changed the League," racking up millions of views. Meanwhile, the commissioner's out here preaching equality and diversity. Nice words, terrible timing. Fans don't want slogans, they want accountability. Social media's roasting her alive. One viral post asked, "How do you run a league that lets its biggest star get bullied on live TV?" Another said, "If this were LeBron or Curry, heads would have rolled already." Hard to argue with that. Even ex-players are chiming in, some defending the league, others saying out loud what everyone's been thinking. The refs treated Clark differently. And when enough influential voices start echoing the same thing, that's when a controversy turns nuclear. Now, both the DOJ and the Trump administration are officially watching, and when those two names share a headline with your league, you've officially hit critical mass. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. This whole disaster was 100% preventable. A few suspensions, a little referee accountability, a statement promising fair play. Done and dusted. Instead, the league brushed it off as media drama. Now they're knee-deep in lawyers, civil rights probes, and reporters openly questioning if the WNBA violated its own anti-discrimination code. You can thank pure, unfiltered arrogance for this train wreck. The league genuinely believed Caitlin Clark's fame was just a passing phase, some temporary social media craze. What they didn't grasp was that she was the craze, the movement, the moment. They completely misread the room, underestimating just how fiercely the public stood behind her. Worst of all, they saw her historic rise not as a blessing, but as a threat. And that colossal miscalculation has brought us right here. Now, the commissioner's office is neck-deep in an internal review over how they handled Clark's complaints about biased officiating. The Wall Street Journal's expose on the hostile environment is being waved around as evidence. Emails, memos, everything's being subpoenaed, and one insider says panic mode has officially hit red alert. Even Stephen A. Smith, who's been shouting from the rooftops for months, dropped another bomb this morning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. According to him, the Trump administration has been quietly monitoring the WNBA ever since Caitlin Clark became a political lightning rod. And yes, you heard that right. He's not exaggerating. And Stephen A. is absolutely right. Let's not kid ourselves. Politics and sports have always been intertwined. The second the White House senses public outrage, it moves. Trump's team knows exactly what they're doing. They see Caitlin Clark not just as a basketball star, but as the voice of a massive, overlooked fan base that feels dismissed by the establishment. You think they'd let that moment slip away? Not a chance. Now let's talk about the optics. Because for the WNBA, this is nothing short of a nightmare. A league that preaches fairness, empowerment, and equality is now being accused of doing the exact opposite, ignoring bias, letting refs play favorites, and failing to protect the very athlete who skyrocketed their ratings by over 400%. The commissioner's so-called response, a 2-paragraph press release claiming they welcome oversight and value. Transparency. Translation, they're terrified because what's coming next isn't a PR storm. It's a legal avalanche, subpoenas, testimonies, executives grilled about internal decisions, coaches questioned under oath about league directives. It's about to get ugly. And when the dust finally settles, if even a fraction of these allegations hold water, the WNBA's carefully polished image will be in ruins. But amid all that chaos...